You see, we really got to fix this. There's no sound. There's no nothing. Just the last. You go to that last few seconds, and there's just that picture of me with the Looney Tunes things. It needs to be something there. It's like even "That's All, Folks" or something. Maybe that should be at the end of the of the closeout when we're done. When turning off the stream, the end stream credits. Welcome to the World Show. Oh, barely. Not barely the world. The world is still here. It's not a barely a world. The world still exists. Nothing to barely I'm here. The dumb things that have gone on for me. I've been up for about 30 hours now, and that's my own damn fault. It's not your fault, so I won't bitch and complain at you, although I'd like someone to blame other than me. I'm very good at blaming others for things that are my fault. I'm the king of that, as a matter of fact. All right, so it looks like, well, my wife has abandoned me. She is in Las Vegas. I don't even ask anymore what she's doing. He's married a long time. My son went to the gym, which means he went to his girlfriend's house, I'm sure. So I'm here. You guys are saying, good afternoon, General, says Joe. Robert's calling me handsome. That's one. That's a good one in there. There's a few things in, but everybody left. And right up and we got, okay, as you guys are watching the intro, what is it, 6 minutes long? I'm trying to get the lights turned on and get my shit straight. And so I thought, all right, I got 4 minutes because there's 2 minutes in. I got the lights done. I sat down and I looked over there. Everyone's gone, and I've got Mrs. Forwatton. And I scroll through, and she's a blue wrench. Love Mrs. Four. Mrs. Forwatton is one of my favorite people, and she's a moderator, and she's in here. And I thought, there's no other moderators. And at that time, no one was going to help me between the sheets, which is where we get the notes and messages. And everyone's gone. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do this by myself. And then I looked and I thought, okay, it's Mrs. Four. Mrs. Four, it's you and me. You and I. I don't want to be called just nothing but a pugilist. I have some verbiage that goes along with that. And then all of a sudden at the 10-second mark, at 1 minute to go, I came running back in and sat down, and Ashley, who's on staff here, we love Ashley. She's like, I'll do the sheets, I'll fix the sheets. And then I see Josh Maddox and David here. Okay, we're bolstering our position. Our defensive positions are being shored up a little bit here at the Gen X Talk Studios, broadcasting live from a bunker 200 feet below occupied California. And we surfaced just long enough with an antenna through the ground to broadcast you. Then whoosh, we're gone. Dig someplace else and come in a different location. Well, we have to. You got to do that around here. I live in California. I know the ropes. Why did I come running in with 1 minute to go to see that Ashley was here and see that Josh was here? I had to go to the bathroom, and I thought, all right, I can go. Just could go take a whiz real quick. I can run out of the studio, make it to the house, and make it back. So I do. And as I come back, I know I still got time to spare. The bathroom's not too far away. And the door's locked to the studio. I'm locked out. Now, it's not locked because it's not locked like key lock. The door's stuck. Like something in the handle broke and the latch moved or the lock moved. Something happened. So here I am. I can hear the intro music playing, through the crack in the door because it's open about a 1/4 inch. So I can hear it. But I can't get to you guys because the door won't open. So I'm shutting the door, open the door, shutting the door, open. I'm grabbing like this. I'm about ready to go get. I got a 4-foot snap-on pry bar in the garage. It's what we use to take off cylinder heads without removing the bolts first. And I was about ready to pry that thing in here. I was about ready to pry that thing and rip the door off the hinges and then sit down and call line and go, could you fly back out here? We got a problem. But anyway, so I got back in here. I slid to the side, hooked up the sheets, and there was ash in here. And then I got some stuff. It popped all at once, but thank God. Still, for being up 30 some hours, and I'll be fair with you guys, I got a toothache that developed like a month ago, and I took some antibiotics. I took a bunch of stuff, and it went away, and I didn't go get it fixed. I was going to get it pulled. It's way in the back over here. I don't fucking need it anymore. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Besides, who's going to see the back of my fucking mouth? So I've been living on these things. I literally been chewing these canker things and these gel things that numb your mouth. Literally just breaking off the end and chewing on them, trying to get them to work. And they do work, but I got to do it like every 10 or 15 minutes. And after being up for 30 hours and taking my regular medication from my doctor and not eating as much as I should because my wife's gone, and then stuffing my face with these things and no sleep for 30 hours, I didn't think I was going to be here. I feel like a walking zombie right now. That's the truth. But I'm going to focus. I'm going to give you guys just stuff to talk about, man. The world cannot continue. The world right now, as you know, if you looked at global cameras, webcams all over the planet, everything's on pause. You ever seen Tokyo come to a grinding halt? You ever seen all the cars quit moving and people quit walking? Yeah, well, that's what's happening right now. Why? Well, they're waiting for the World Show to get over with. There might be some instructions that Tokyo is waiting for. All the Philippines, the South China Sea, all the boat traffic, everybody's anchored up right now going, all right, let's see what he's got to say. If the general's got something to tell us, we may have to change course. But if not, if everything's good at the end of the show, you hoist the anchor, you turn the props back on, and you continue. I get it. There's nothing like a show like the World Show from Gen X Talks to stop traffic all over the planet for 60 minutes until we get some stuff sorted out. Now, I can't address every country. I mean, I appreciate the fact that the tourism in Rome has come to a halt. Nobody's going into to anything. No tours are going on anywhere. The Louvre in France, everyone's waiting. I might have something to say about France, about Paris, about the Louvre. So they got to wait. I can't get to everybody, but the ones that I can get to, they're grateful for it. They're thankful for it. I appreciate them waiting on me. So we can continue the show, and as soon as we're done, the world can get back to clicking on its way. I don't mean to pause everybody, but, you know, certain things have to fall in a certain order. You know, you can't pull one domino out and expect things to look pretty when it's done. No. That's a mess. And it's very disappointing and unsatisfying. And if there's one thing around here we're known for, disappointment and being unsatisfied. So let's continue. All right. Did that make any sense to anybody but me? Robert playing $4.99, calling me handsome. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Robert. Then Bonnie and Clyde, Gen X Talk General. You can blame me if you want to, handsome, but I do. Bonnie, I've been asleep for 30 hours because I've been up thinking about you. Oh, yeah, in that sort of way. Oh, you just keep me up at night, girl, and I don't know what to do about it. I wish you could break that spell and leave me alone. Let me get some peace. All right. Kai, when did it become Friday? I don't know. I'm not sure where you are, Kai. Wherever you are, why don't you go find a clock? No, not a digital clock, a real clock with short and long hands and a minute hand on it, okay? If you focus on that long enough, you start to grasp the concept of a 24-hour day. And, you know, if it's a clock you can hold in your hand, and you can walk across a time zone, if you can walk across the international date line, you can see that right as you cross, the hands just move. You just cross the time zone, it goes an hour. But if you cross the international date line, the prime meridian, as they say in England, I think it goes a whole, does it even move? Because if it's the same time a day later, maybe that wouldn't even move. Maybe an analog clock with hands, when you cross that into another day, maybe the clock, an hour would move. I know that's how it works. I've heard about it. You fly into a plane, you cross over 3M, you hold your thing. Right as you cross it in the airplane, your hand moves. I got it. Would it do that on a day, or would it be exactly the same? Maybe if you had a clock with a little day thing, it might go pung to Tuesday, pung to Wednesday. Maybe that would change. Or would the hands go around 24 times? These are the mysteries that we like to solve in the Bottom of the Glass Nation shows while we all drink on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Wasn't that a good intro? Oh, man, does it hurt. It hurts all up in here in my jaw, all the way to the side of my face. Yeah, I know. Look, it's fair. It's fair. Right now, the whole side of my face is killing me, and I know you guys think that's fair because my face has been killing you guys for a long time. I understand. It's payback now. I get it. Jason Miller, good morning, handsome. Hope all is well in your corner of the world. Glad you got cut up today. Once again, please don't judge me. Cheers. It's 5 p.m. somewhere. Let's stir some pots. No, Jason, no problem. No judgment here, my man. Thanks for calling me handsome. I think that's 3. We can start the show. Zach James, $5. The general solving the world's problems one stream at a time. Now, if only the powers that be would listen. Well, we just discussed that. Big cities around the planet, Suez Canal, everything stops until we get done with the show. There's like a universal timeout. You know, when you work for a union, you have a mandatory union break where everything comes to a screeching halt at the pull of an old steam whistle. That's what happens. As soon as we start broadcasting here, the universal whistle goes off all around the world. Everything grinds to a slow halt. Everybody enjoys a drink, a sandwich. They can relax, get a massage, look out the window, breath of fresh air. And then as soon as we're over, as soon as the mics are clear, whistle again, and everybody puts their overalls back on, straps up, laces their boots, back to work. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Union breaks, good thing. All right. So, the fuck is wrong with me? I am silly on medication right now. I got to tell you, I can feel the fog and it's not lifting. Joe, I got back surgery on Monday night, but everything I could in here since. I'm not missing this channel for anything. Well, Joe, if you got back surgery and you had the balls to show up, then what kind of a wuss would I be if my tooth stopped me? No, man, I'm going to be here with you too. All right, we got stuff. What am I missing in here? Am I caught up? I'm caught up between the sheets. Ashley, that's good. Let me peruse Mrs. Ford. Looks like everything's going good in here. She's got stuff handled in between the sheet or in the comment section. Mrs. Ford's got the big blue wrench, and she's swinging it too. You guys fuck around in the comment section. Mrs. Ford will take that wrench and knock you the fuck out. She'll put you in a timeout, which is a woodshed. He puts you in a timeout. You're not kicked. You're put in the woodshed for, I think it's for 5 minutes. And you got to sit in the woodshed. If you don't understand what the woodshed is, if you've never been taken to the woodshed in your life, you're too young to be on the stream. All us old guys know what it means when, hey, it took me to the woodshed or took that guy to the woodshed. We all get it. You mouth off, you're going to get it too. And she ain't afraid to put you there either. All right, there was stuff. I was so confused this morning with my notes. I've got these pages of notes and I copy and paste to try to remind me of some things I thought about because I want to bring them up to you guys. And I copied and pasted 3 different things on one page, and somehow this one message was on all 3 pages. It says boobs press for cash story. But unfortunately for you guys, you're the world show, and this note says bottom of the glass nation show. So I can't tell you the boobs press for cash story. We can another time, but I can't do it here. It's against the rules, man, and there's nothing else that I do. I follow the rules. All right, let's go over here. We had some stuff going on, just a few things in here. I didn't label them again, so it's all going to be a surprise, and we'll talk as we go. You guys like this? I've gotten some comments that you guys like the me in the corner, so you can read what the pictures are, because you kind of know what I look like and what I sound like, right? So we do this in the corner here. You guys have been liking that. I'm going to keep doing it. I think it was a good idea. All right. Cardboard cutout. Everybody knows who this man is. Joe Rogan, great American. Rogan's unfiltered response on Dem voters would reject as president candidate. It's a little bit of a dumb headline, but let me tell you what he said. He was talking about the presidential race, and I got to agree with him. This, for those of you around the world, I should have thought of this analogy sooner when it came to American politics. He's very accurate about this. First, he just briefly talked about Kamala Harris and how nobody really wants her to be president, and it's a true statement. I have Democrat friends that they just do not want her to be president. They really think she's sort of useless. However, this is what Joe Rogan points out, and he's not wrong, is he says they would vote for Kamala over Trump if they hate Trump. They would pick her, but they would pick her saying, we don't like you, we don't want you, but we hate Trump, so we'll vote for you. And I don't know whether, you see, I wouldn't want to be that. I've been that guy in a relationship before. I've been that guy with a girlfriend where she's like, well, I just hate my ex-boyfriend so much I'm going to date you for a while, but I really don't like you. You know what? When I was younger, I didn't care. I was like, wait a minute. We're going to date and we're going to kiss and we're going to make out and we're going to go do some stuff. But you don't like me? I didn't care. I didn't care at all. I was like, let's go. I'm in. As I got older, that bothered me because as you get older, you want more of a connection. And so, as I got older, I didn't like that. I didn't like that very much at all. And what Joe is saying is the same thing. Why would you want to be president if the country hates you? You weren't. Imagine Kamala would be president no matter what, because she loves the attention and the power. Of course she would. And a lot of us would. I'm not saying that everyone's perfect, but to get there, to have someone say, we voted you in office, not because you were the best choice, but because you were a lack of options. Yeah. Think of that. How would you like to be married and have your wife or your husband say, hey, I married you, but it's only because you were what was available. There's better than you out there, but nobody else was around, so I picked you. And the only difference is in a presidency, they wouldn't give a shit. There's people that would be like, I don't give a fuck why you voted me in here. I'm in charge now. And they wouldn't care. I get that. But Joe's right. So let me continue on. He was talking. He made an interesting analogy towards the Democratic Party and Trump and RFK, who he says you could take Trump and you may not like anything about his behavior, but he's a real person. That's what Joe says, and Joe doesn't care for Trump too much, but he was right. Trump is a real person. Like, he's a real human being with real feelings. He thinks about these options and does weird, bizarre things, but he's human and he's doing these things. RFK would be the same thing, who's running in the Democratic primaries. He's a real person. You may not agree with his politics. You may not like some of the stuff he's done in the past, but he is absolutely, I agree with you, he's a real person. And let me circle around to the ending here. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, they're not. Gavin Newsom, he's not. And this is what Joe says. This is the part I want to take. Cardboard cutout. He says that the Democratic Party would vote for a cardboard cutout of Gavin Newsom, of Kamala Harris. They'd vote for a cardboard cutout before they would vote Republican, a human being, or RFK in the primaries. They would stick with their leaders, even if their leaders were nothing more than a cardboard cutout. Now, I will tell you that was his statement. I will tell you from my country, from the United States, looking out my front door, knowing Democrats, and I know a ton of them, friends of mine. But when it comes down to it, even some of my friends would look at them and say, I'd vote for a ham sandwich before I voted for Trump. They're not voting for the best candidate. They're voting out of hatred, and they vote the other way. He's right. There are a ton of people in my country. I don't know if it's like this everywhere. I don't know if in England that you have parties that are so loyal that just put a cardboard cutout out there and they'd vote for it because they're checking the conservative aisle or the liberal aisle. I don't know. But I'm telling you, he's right on that. Joe made that statement. I've made a bunch of similar statements, of course. Lots of us have. But I never put it in the form of a cardboard cutout. That brings it all to the point. That brings it all to the point. It really does. All right, next one. U.S. women's soccer team slammed for conduct during the national anthem. All right, no big deal here. Everybody's seen this. But the best part of this article going around in news organizations, they always do what? There's always an anchor, there's always an announcer, there's always a commentator, and they bring a special guest on. They say, well, the women's soccer team, not everybody was standing, not everybody had their hand over their heart, blah, 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 blah. And then we bring in an expert. What do you think? Every time in every article, the announcer has said something to the effect of, well, we're seeing this everywhere in the NFL and Major League Baseball. You're seeing it all over the place. No, you're not. No, you're not. Not as much. It's going away. The women's soccer team, they're trying to stay in the limelight for all sorts of different reasons, and this is just one more way to disrespect the country that they represent. That's how stupid they are. That's how idiotic they are. They think that by disrespecting the entire country that they're making people aware of inadequacies. Look, we're already very aware of the problems we have in America. The difference is real, true patriots, real, true Americans. We acknowledge the problems. We're working on the problems. We're trying to fix the problems. We're not hiding from them. We're not burying them. We're working on them over here in America. And every now and then we have to set down our tools and salute the flag, put our hand, stand for the national anthem, say the pledge. Then we go back to working on stuff. It's a moment that everybody comes together. So it's real simple in the United States. If you want to see who's not a patriot, you want to see who's anti-American, look at the people disrespecting those moments. It's supposed to be in my country that everybody sets everything aside, liberals and conservatives, Democrats and Republicans, and everybody sets down their stuff. We all come together. We say the pledge. We put our hand over our heart, national anthem, salute the flag. Then we can go back to bickering and arguing. But we all have one common thing. We love our country. So when you see people doing this, they're not. Well, they've always got the excuse when you interview. Well, I'm using my platform to make people aware, to bring awareness so eyes can fall upon the situation, which is a lie. Everybody fucking knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows there's issues. Everybody knows that there's problems. We're working on them. All you're doing is you're singling yourself out as un-American because you don't understand that true Americans on both sides of the aisle set things aside, show our patriotism, then we go back to what we're doing. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked since I was a kid. And I still believe it today. Anybody who says, I'm standing up and I'm making a big scene publicly so people are aware of racism. They're aware of inequality. I wish I was a reporter. I'd hand the mic and go, so nobody knows about racism? No, you think you're actually reaching a person who doesn't know it exists? Put the microphone back in their face. People who do that and stand up and say, well, there's inequalities going on and I need to make people aware. You really think there's no one? You think there's someone out in the world who doesn't know? You think there's some corner of the world that you're reaching by kneeling and by not standing and by not standing up with your hand over your heart for the national anthem? You think you've reached somebody? Someone's going to go, oh my God, what's that woman? She's kneeling. What's going on? And then someone's going to say, oh, well, there's racism and inequality in America, and she's protesting it. Oh my God, thank God that woman soccer lady did that. I had no idea. I would have never known until she did that. Thank God she would. I don't know how many people she reached, but thank God. You think anyone, are you so dumb you think people don't know? Everybody knows. Everybody's already aware. You're just being an idiot right now. You're showing your hypocrisy. You're unpatriotic, but that's the way it goes. Welcome to my country. You know, they also, in these articles, they show all the other countries who have terrible shit going on in their countries. But those people, those players still believe in their country. They're still loyal to their country. They're still trying for their country. They put their hand over their heart. They stand with pride because they know their country's going to overcome the atrocities at some point anyway, and the country will win out. All except for the United States. Yeah, wrap your minds around that. Hang on a second. I disguised my Hawaiian water, so you think it's refrigerated Hawaiian water I was trying. Really, it's the strongest version of Jack Daniels that I could find in the liquor cabinet. All right, that's not true, but it sounds good, right? It sounds rough and tough, doesn't it? Sounds like toxic masculinity. Yeah, I came riding across the desert, and that's what I got about those Westerns when I was a kid. I didn't think about it till I got older. Those guys where they'd fight, Indians, and then they'd fight banditos, and they'd fight posses, and then they'd fight these white farmer gangs that would attack, going across the desert on their horse, and they come into town. They've been out of water and out of food for 3 days, and they're all covered in dust, and their horse barely makes it, and they stagger into a bar, and what do they say? Whiskey. Man, I'd have fallen face first in that horse trough full of water. I'd have been soaking in that for half an hour, and then I'd have gone in the bar and it's dripping wet and said, water. Ice cold water. Cold as you can get me, water. That whiskey, you come across it, whiskey. No. But I do get the persona. That's why I'm telling you that I'm drinking whiskey right now. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I've been up for 30 hours. I'm sick. I'm hurting. I'm tired. I've been rode hard and put up wet one too many times. And I'm drinking whiskey. See how my voice got lower too? I'm drinking whiskey. Don't question me on that. This is man stuff right now. If you don't understand it, you're not a man. You let me be me. Don't judge me. I'm running this show here, and if I tell you I'm drinking whiskey out of a blue straw, I'm drinking whiskey out of a blue straw. That should be a T-shirt. Want my whiskey out of a blue straw. It's true that the Westerns, they all did that. We all bought it. We didn't question it. Like, well, yeah, 200 miles in the desert and whiskey. Yeah, that's what everybody orders. All right, this one has a little bit of a controversy to it because this one, as usual, being an old guy, Generation X, I don't look at things the way everybody else does. Maybe I'm stupid. Just right here, say China's President Xi Jinping purges nuclear missile command amid alleged corruption probe. All right. So as a gifted and talented broadcast professional, I'm always perusing If I was a really good trained broadcast professional, I'd know what words to use, but I don't. I'm a $3 guy, and I tried to use a $12 word. See what happens? I'm always scrolling through the internet. There's a $3 word. And so you pick up a few things in the background. Like one, I get what the article's saying here. It's like, oh, you don't look at him. President Xi did the right thing, got rid of all the corruption. Missile command, they have control of the missiles, and they got rid of the corruption. Well, maybe 99% of everybody who reads that across the planet goes, ooh, that's a good thing. We don't want bad people having their finger on the button of missiles. That's a good thing. And then you read as one of his ministers of foreign defense or secretary of defense, same as ours, disappeared, was gone for a long time. No public engagements, no quotes. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh, he left because he was sick and he's going to spend time with his family. Like, oh, well, that was kind of weird. Then two of the political liaisons here that with the military in this group, they just disappeared. And then she comes out and goes, there's corruption in there, but don't worry, I handled it. All the assholes are gone. And everybody goes, well, that's good. And my first thought, I could be wrong here. Okay, I'm just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert. What do I know? I thought this also, to me, sounds like I got rid of everybody who was opposing me and I put my own people in charge. Now, I'm sure I'm the only jabroni that thinks this way. But when I read that, just the headline, purges nuclear command amid corruption probe. I just automatically translated that. Google Translate. I think there should be Google Translate should have a button that goes from news media to common sense. I think you should be able to hit a common sense button and it translates it, because I think if it did that, then this would have come up. President Xi removed the last fail-safe of common sense in his nuclear program, and now he's got his own people running it. Now, you can disagree with me if you want to. I mean, it's a guess. But doesn't that headline sound a little bit like, doesn't it sound a little bit contradictory to everything we know about Xi? No, well, he's such a good man. He purges corruption, and he put the missile program back on the straight and narrow. Really? Does that sound like it aligns with any of his other character traits? Does that sound like something his personality would do? Hey, what do I know? I'm not in charge of anything. All right. Joey Good, let's go back over here between the sheets. For those of you who don't know what the sheets are another monitor. They're to my left, your right. And what this does is it allows me, I can't read all the comments. If I'm telling a story up here, I can't read the comments there, and everybody gets pissed. You're not reading my comments. He only reads the ones for money, blah, 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 blah. I can't read them because I'm talking. Okay, I can't be telling a story and be reading the comments the whole time. This is what it would look like if I was telling you a story and trying to read comments. See where I'm looking here? No, that doesn't fly. You guys want my full attention. I'm trying to give it to you. All right, calm your dicks and tits. I'm going to read between the sheets. Ashley is between the sheets. I read them when I can, but you never want to leave a girl between the sheets for too long unattended. She's getting restless. So I will read them over here right now. Google Docs or Google Sheets, whatever we're on here. Joey Gowder dropped in $5. Hope all is well with you, and salutes Gen X family and the Bottom of Glass Nation. Kid Brother Joey, thank you for doing that. Oh, you're not Kid Brother Joey. That's Joey Gowder. I was thinking Joey Upamquider. Upaquider. Nah, I'm fucking that up too. Joey, thanks for doing that. Thanks for dropping that in. Mrs. T, member for 8 months. My dear General, it has been an hour thus far. Thank you for being you. Has it really? It's not been an hour yet. I hope not. Did an hour go by? What time did I start? I mean, I'm hurting right now bad, but I thought I still had time to go. Life of Sarcasm put in €5. Kamala Harris, isn't she that said something about reducing the population instead of pollution? Yeah, she did. Freudian slip if I ever heard one. She does that all the time. She just did a press conference where she repeated the same phrase 3 times in like 2 minutes. Just kept fumbling and kept repeating it. And she's got a teleprompter too. All right. Daniel Cardwell, welcome to the Legion of X. Daniel, thanks for joining up and hanging out. Bonnie and Clyde Miller, member for 4 months, need an extra. The Incompletionist, $5. PA, here is a cardboard cutout. Here, a cardboard cutout would have been better than the governor of my state voted in. Is that, I'm thinking it says Pennsylvania? Yeah, it's sometimes a cardboard cutout, at least they can't fuck anything up. If you vote for a cardboard cutout, at least they're just going to sit there and not do anything. They might do anything good, but they won't do anything bad either. Mr. Flibble gifted 5 Gen X Talks memberships. Rowdy Bobby, Dangar, Rex, Ron Tarvin, and Bryden Allen. Now listen, for those of you that don't know, the YouTube channel, which you can access from anywhere on the planet, has a community section. I know you guys just go for the kids ambush videos, whatever those shitty things are, but then you come to the live stream. But there's also a community section, and if you have a membership, it unlocks a ton of stuff. You can peek behind the curtain. There's a bunch of stuff that you get to see from the Gen X Talks family and what we've been doing. You can scroll back 2 years now, but you get to do that. Life of Sarcasm gifted 1 Gen X Talks membership to Todd Seaman. Todd, you're on board too. You get to look behind the curtain now. Deepak, member for 14 months. Deepak got his big red 1. Anytime you guys see a commenter go by with the big red 1, they have been a member for over a year. They earned it. They were in the penitentiary along with us, so locked behind bars for a year. So thank you for doing that, Deepak. Member for 14 months. Thanks for all the therapy sessions, badly needed. Hey, Deepak, you guys help me more than I help you, I promise you. Marvelous Miss Miranda. Pull that mic in close. I'm not doing that. She wants me to pull that in and give some harem talk, dim the lights and tilt my head down, squint my eyes. No. I mean, yes, but I can't do this. It's a world show. There's children watching. Isabella Live 2.0, new member. Welcome to being an extra. Thank you, Isabella, for joining up. We appreciate you. Leslie Mathis, member for 8 months. Mom, Dad, and my grandson was born yesterday. Mom, Dad, and my grandson was born yesterday. 7 pounds, 12 ounces. Y'all are great grandparents now. Wait, are we great grandparents or are we great grandparents? That's a little confusing. I don't know if you meant that everybody's born on the same day. What are the odds of that? I mean, that's if mom, dad, and grandson all born on the same day. That's amazing. The only other thing that even come close to that is when the Pilgrims left England and they left Plymouth and landed in America in Plymouth. Yeah, they left from Plymouth and landed in Plymouth. How lucky was that? That's amazing. All right. All right, let me see if I had anything else in here. It was in a bucket of tricks and things I wanted to say. Bump, bump, bump. I think we covered them. Let me just make sure. Oh, this is one. This is a little bit controversial to me just from the title. Mexican City bans live music degrading to women. So most of the rap music is degrading to women and going to kill cops and stuff. All the way back to the big ones were NWA back when I was growing up. And I gotta say, I don't like songs that are degrading to women, like that's what you're singing about, like it's like you're celebrating. I don't like that. But would I stop this guy from doing his job and making his? No, I wouldn't, because I'm not going to try to legislate this type of morality. I'm not going to say, well, you can't be degrading to women. By the way, don't talk about short people. You offend short people. Oh, and make sure you don't talk about any other minorities. I mean, where do you stop? The truth is, and Mexico can be Mexico, I'm fine. But the truth is that if it's offensive to the nation, they won't come watch. If he's singing about shit that people don't like, they're not interested in, he's not going to sell tickets. He's going to have to reconsider what he's thinking. That's how the free market works. That's how capitalism works. I don't like it, but I'm not going to tell him no. He's not actually physically abusing a woman. He's not slapping a girl. There, I'd say something. I'd stop. I would do something about that. But if he's going to get up on stage, I'm just going to say, dude, I don't agree with you. I'm not buying a ticket. And if I live nearby, please don't make it so loud that I have to hear you. That's it. That's it. And I get if a city or a community wants to do that, then he can go play someplace else. There's a lot of economic ramifications when cities do that, but beginning to legislate different parts of morality becomes tough. And I'm just saying I wouldn't get involved in that. I wouldn't. It's not me. It's not my thing. All right, there's President Xi. We talked about him. Okay, so did everybody listen to the podcast this morning, the audio podcast? I don't know if anybody can put up a link to that or not. We've told this story before on live streams. Not often. I think I've told it twice before in the last 2 or 3 years. But it's been coming up about flying because my wife flies. She loves to fly. She would literally. She wants to. This is a true story. My wife wants to fly with Mrs. Forwatton to London just to have lunch. or just to spend the night and have breakfast and come back. Like, you don't even have to really leave the airport. A passport or whatever she wants to do, even if it's just for a day. She wants to go. She loves flying. She loves airplanes. She loves talking to people. She loves new airports and new places. This has been brought up before. She would absolutely get on a plane with Mrs. Flora on a Tuesday and fly to, or someplace else, and in Toronto. Someplace they can come back in a day. She would do that. She loves airplanes. I hate airplanes. You know, when you break down in your car or truck, you pull over the side of the road and you call for a tow truck and you're on your way. Your plane breaks down, you're not pulling over on the side of the road. In fact, if your plane crashes, you're dead. Very few people survive plane crashes. So, back to the story. The today's podcast, it dropped at midnight. There was a segment about a story, a true story that happened to me in a very bad plane situation, big airplane situation. And so people they'd been taught, the story's been out there for a while, but I really told it, you know, with some clarity in the podcast. So if you listen to the podcast, the audio podcast, my wife and I, she beats me up. It's an audio podcast. Listen while you're driving, listen while you're doing chores, listen while you're doing work. But she kicks the shit out of me every week, once a week. And this one, I told a story. So people sent me articles. Then one came out like yesterday or something. So people said, "Hey, General, funny you were talking about that. We got this thing we want to show you here." Where is it? Dun, dun, dun. So we go back to here and then hit this one. Okay, this is what you do to prevent freaking out from flying, because I don't fly. I had a very bad incident. It was as close to a plane crash as one could get, and I'm never going to fly an airplane again, which isn't true. I've flown a couple times, but I hate it. So, they sent me this, and here's what you're supposed to do to make sure you're okay when you fly an airplane. If I'm scared to death, this fixes it. First of all, meet the pilot before takeoff. All right. What if the guy looks like he's really super old and he's got a pacemaker? What if he's like 55 years old like me and he smells like whiskey? What if I meet the guy and he's kind of looking at me, but he's shaking my hand off here, and you have to go, "Dude, over here." And you go, "Oh, yeah, hey, there you are, young man. Thank you very much. I'm going to shake your hand right. Didn't see you right there. Thought, my eyes get a little funny over time looking over here." Maybe I won't like meeting the pilot. Maybe that would make things worse. A little bit of a risk there. Now, I'd say 9 out of 10, I'd be a little more confident, but you never know. What if the co-pilot's sleeping when I go to meet them? All right. It says focus on different objects. Now, I've tried that. I don't mind flying. I don't mind turbulence, believe it or not. What I mind is when planes make funky noises that are engines change speed. I can hear the engine like, why are we slowing down? Why are we speeding up? What's wrong? When we're supposed to be flying in a straight line and we start curving, or, you know, the lights flicker, stuff like that. That's the thing. Focus on different objects. Well, you know, that's the dumbest thing ever. It's like, if you think you're going to die, for me, because I'm one of those guys who I know I'm going to, I watch every plane crash video on YouTube I can find. I get all the mistakes. I watch all the transcripts. I watch the ones that are 2 hours long where they show every cockpit conversation and where things began to go wrong and how it happened. I'm looking for all that stuff whenever I get on a plane, because now I'm an expert. I've watched every YouTube video on plane crashes and what the crew was supposed to be doing, what they did do, what they didn't do. I am now an expert, and I'm looking for these things. I want to be helpful. I also want to stay alive. Focus on different objects. If I think I'm going to die in a plane crash, if it's getting to that point where I'm holding my breath and something's going to die, what do you want me to focus on? What do you want me to look at? The mountain that we're going to crash into? Just keep focused on that hillside until we hit it? Is that it? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, number 2, you're full of shit. No good, no upside there. Number 3, brings things to distract yourself while in flight. What do you want me to bring along that's going to distract me? You think a Rubik's Cube is going to take my mind off it, as if the stewardess is going to run down the aisle? Okay, put your seatbelts on, grab your oxygen masks, everybody, assume a crash position, and I'm going to be sitting there with a Rubik's Cube? Hang on a second. Hold on. Wait, I'm almost done. Now, I know we're crashing, but I'm a little distracted right now. I bought a Rubik's Cube with me. Is that how that works? Bring something to distract you? Rubik's Cube, is that good? Is that going to work? What the fuck are you talking about? Nothing is going to distract me if I think we're going to die. I tell you, who wrote this fucking list? Be strategic with your seat choice. Now, that's true. What section of the plane survives most crashes? That's right, the tail section. What part of the plane survives even more than the tail section every single time? That's right, the black box. Yeah, the black box. They keep looking for it till they find it. It may be banged up. It may be beat up. Well, I want to ride in the black box. I will pay for them to make a black box big enough for me to fit in. I'm inside. Why? I want to live. The black box survives every time. Why can't I be in the black box? Why can't they just make a seat for me that's the black box? I'm totally good with that. I'd be relaxed the entire flight. I don't care if we crash or not. A couple days, they're going to come pull me out of the black box and go, hey, dude, what happened? I'm going to say, you won't believe it. I heard everything. Because in the black box, you get all the signals and all the things and all the chatter goes by. I got everything. I'll tell them. What happened. They don't even need to go they can go listen to the tape, but I'm also going to be, here's what happened. You know why? Because I'm in the black box. Way better than even the tail section. All right. Learn about the aircraft. Yeah. That's a tough one because a lot of the planes have histories of crashing, histories of things for years, and the things they've solved. And so, my brain, which is always thinking I'm going to crash, you get on board a 747 and say, oh, these planes have been around since 1975, and they worked out all the kinks early on. They're one of the safest planes. They have one plane crash out of 10 million flights. It's the safest plane you can go on, and they've been doing it for 40 years. And my brain goes, this plane's 40 years old? What the fuck, man? I didn't even drive in a car that's 40 years old. You want me to be on an airplane 40 years old? That's just, that's a bad way to think. I think like a woman. I think like a woman when it comes to that. All they're telling me is this impeccable safety of a 747 and this routine that has been flawless for 40 years, and all I hear is, I'm on a 40-year-old plane. That type of thinking. So even if I did do some research on the plane I was on, and then you go the opposite, say, well, don't worry about it. We'll take you off this old 747. Here, we're going to put you on this 737 MAX. It's brand new. Whoa. How new? No, fuck that. You guys use this thing for 6 months or so, and then I'm not getting on a brand new plane. No way. My brain would think like a woman. I'd find a way to be upset with that. You follow me so far? Let's go to the last one. Put your trust in a travel buddy. Put trust in your travel buddy. What the fuck does that mean? I'm scared of flying. I'm scared of crashing. I've met the pilot, not happy, don't like being on a 40-year-old airplane, but hey, I'm going to put my faith in my travel buddy next to me. That fucker's going to die the same as me. Put my faith in a travel buddy. In what way? Hey, looks like the plane's coming apart. We're going down. One of the engines cut out, and the pilot had a heart attack. Thank God you're here sitting with me, travel buddy. Because somebody finished that sentence for me. Oh, thank God you're here, travel buddy, because now I feel safe. You're going to... What? What is this jabroni going to do that I'm not already doing? Put your trust in a travel buddy. I have no idea what that even means. It's almost like the editor told the guy writing this article, you better come up with 7 things. And he's like, dude, I can barely come up with 6. Well, fucking make up something for 7. All right? Trust the guy next to you. Maybe he's not panicking quite as much as you are. You guys see what I deal with? You guys understand this right now? All right, let me jump back between the sheets. I think I missed some stuff over here. Ashley has been kicking me under the table, it looks like. Yep. Ashley says, yeah, ban music now. What's next? More books? Yeah. You start legislating morality along that line. What are you going to do? Leslie Madison, no, I'm saying, Mom, Dad, our grandson was born yesterday. Now you're reading it wrong. Well, Leslie, why don't you read it right? Or blame Ashley. Leslie, if you wrote it correctly, maybe Ashley copied and pasted it wrong, because sometimes she doesn't copy and paste. Sometimes she types it out. Now, Leslie, you could be typing normal to me. I can be reading it normal from you. But you got to remember, we got a hillbilly translator. And I didn't bring my Lucky Charms decoder ring with me, so I'm only reading what she translates down there. I won't blame you, but clearly, this could be a cultural problem. I'm just saying. All right. Coffee and cold. Worry when she gets a one-way ticket, when my wife gets a one-way ticket to Vegas. Yeah, she hasn't found any guy she wants to run away with. Nah, she's pretty satisfied because you got to imagine, my wife's we've known each other since we were 5 years old. She knows what she gets here. Okay. She comes home. She's comfortable with the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between. So you go off with a one-way ticket and take off with some guy in Vegas. You don't really learn about them just spending a weekend with them. You learn about them 3 months into the relationship. You're like, God damn it. Then this guy doesn't start looking so bad. She's smart. She's like, no, I'll be back. Every time she comes back. Robert Plank, just fly drunk. Won't be afraid of shit. Robert, true story. Won't go into it for too long. We took all the kids to Disney World for about 10 days from California. We flew to Florida, and I had five shots of whiskey, and I don't know how many Xanax she gave me, and I was wide awake and still scared to death. After we took off, I don't mind takeoffs and landings. I don't mind those at all. As soon as we took off, I blacked out. I just couldn't stay awake. I couldn't fight the Jack Daniels and whatever Xanax she gave me. I passed out, and I woke up right as we were landing. Yeah. So it does work. He's not wrong. Luckily, they didn't haul me out on a stretcher. She just guessed on how much whiskey and Xanax. They just drink 6 of these, and here's a handful of this. Just go. And she luckily got it just right. She's not a trained medical person. Ed K., film it. Camera guy always makes it. Yeah. That's true. Film the be on the plane filming. Camera guy always makes it. That's just like, if you're worried about a bomb threat. And I heard this years ago from George. If you're worried about a bomb being on an airplane, well, first of all, what are the chances there's going to be a bomb on your flight? Pretty slim, right? Maybe 1 in 200,000. What are the chances there's going to be 2 bombs on your plane? No, none. That's 1 in 4 billion. Not going to happen. There's no way 2 bombs mysteriously end up on one plane. 1's almost impossible. 2's never going to happen. So what's the solution if you're worried about a bomb being on the plane? Bring a bomb on the plane. Yeah, that's right. Sneak a bomb onto the plane, and for sure yours is going to be the only bomb on the plane. There's no way 2 bombs ended up on the same plane. So you're safe. If you're worried about it, if you're worried about a bomb, bring your own. You're totally safe on that. No, it's a Generation X. It makes complete sense. To have another drink, say it again. It'll make more sense. The more you drink, the more sense it'll make. Life of Sarcasm, €5. Why can't they just make an airplane out of the black box? That's right. Why can't they just make the whole plane out of the black box? Then we'd all be safe. Now, there's a person who's got it going on. That's what I'm saying. All right. Got through the sheets on there. Let me make sure I got my notes over here. Boob press story. Can't do that one. Back to California. You can help them flying and pay my week. I had a stupid dumb note. Let me round out with this. There was an argument. I didn't know how to phrase this, so I kind of just made a note on it, but it was funny. Straight white Christian men are the toughest people in America, maybe the world. Straight white Christian men are the toughest people in the United States, maybe the world. Oh boy. Look at everybody being upset. Well, you're proving my point. If you tease anybody in the LGBTQ community, they cry. They scream. They whine until they cancel you. Not very tough. Black Lives Matter gets out there and is screaming and protesting on it. Not very tough. People beat up and put us to the back of the line. You're white privilege, and then they kick the shit out of us. You're white, kick the shit out of us. You used to own slaves, kick the shit out of us. You've been running everything for far too long. We're going to penalize you, kick the shit out of us. We don't have a parade. We don't get a white month. We don't even get a white day. In fact, we don't even protest. We don't run to the street corner with signs and scream. We don't block traffic. And you guys literally kick the shit out of us more than anybody else these days. And we don't even whine about it. That's because we're tough. We handle stuff. We talk. We debate. We argue. We defend ourselves. We defend our position. Sure. But you're never going to judge us as big, whiny crybabies, which is what a lot of you guys are deemed, which is what a lot of you guys are looked at now. You did that to yourselves. 3 years of whining for whatever group you're part of instead of just fixing the problem and moving on. Yeah, you're a bunch of whiny babies. We don't even have our own entertainment channel. Is there a channel on your cable network that says white entertainment TV? No. We don't whine about it. We don't cry about it. I'm just saying from that point of view, we're pretty fucking tough. You just keep saying all this shit to us and we just keep going. Everybody else goes, can you believe what they said about us? Just because I'm 3 feet tall and I have red hair and one tooth, you shouldn't say shit about me. I didn't say shit about you. But obviously somebody did and you're whining about it. I'll help you out. I should have brought this forward a long time ago to help you people in these situations. Something my grandfather told me when I was very young about people who say things to hurt your feelings. Ready? Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I'm not talking about bullying a 12-year-old. Set that aside. Yeah, sticks and stones. We've been going by that for a long time. Maybe if your parents had taught you that, just saying, save yourselves a lot of hot asphalt sittings on the freeway when you're trying to block traffic. But what do I know? Deepak, don't forget to tell that Mrs. Fort Watten's beer steins are available. Oh, shit. Yeah, I forgot about that. On the website, they do not look good. The picture is not how these are coming out. I'm not happy with the picture, but I am happy with these. Last year, we sold these beer steins, these exact ones. They're twins. They're part of a set once a summer. And last year was 2022, and it was called the General's 9 Inches. This is Mrs. Fort Watten's perfectly ass-shaped peaches. And it has a little phrase on the back, and it's got a peach. You can see it doesn't even look that good right there. This one didn't come out that good. The other ones are going to look much better. My wife makes these, and she's perfected them. They look great, but I'm not selling them for very long. I'm going to sell them for a couple weeks, and that's it. So if you don't get one, don't whine at me later. They're fucking super expensive too. I'm sorry. These are big, heavy, thick glasses, and they're heavy and difficult to ship. And I'm sorry, they're not for everybody. They're super expensive. It's not because we're trying to make $1 million on them. Once a summer, we put out these glasses, these steins, and they're a collector's edition. Last year, you can't buy last year's anymore. We sold them for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and that's it. Same thing here. I don't know if anybody has the direct link to it on this. If you got the direct link, then if one of the staff members can put that up, take you right to the store. Otherwise, just go to genxtalks.com, go to the store, and just go to it says genxtalks.com's got all the kid stuff on there. It's a really great website. And then click on the store and it takes you to everything. You scroll around, you'll find that. But they're not going to be out there for a long time. We don't do this. We don't keep a running store and keep our inventory. We pull stuff out all the time. If you want something, you just got to go get it. Because if we were in the business of making money, we would have all 700 things up all the time and be filtering through everything. And we're not. We pull stuff off all the time. It's kind of just what conversations are. If you have a special shirt from a special occasion, then you were part of it. If you have this glass from this month, you were part of it. That's it. Then you don't get it later. You can't come in. Sorry, anybody who just got here today, all the stuff that was sold in the past, you don't get it. You had to be here. But you're here now, and if you stick around, you get the stuff in the future. So if you want those, good call, Deepak, on that. Loud one, $5. Can I drink yet? I should be allowed to. Loaded in California yesterday, 6 hours to leave L.A. Unloaded now in Phoenix. Yeah, Loud one, aren't you? They make the rules now where truckers can't drink on the road. I just don't agree with that. I don't want you killing a family of people in a station wagon, but you got to loosen up on the road. You can send me a stein and we'll make up for you calling me a hillbilly. Ashley, because Leslie said her thing and I called Ashley a hillbilly. She's not laughing. There's no laughing emoji with that. Ashley writes, you can send me a stein. We'll make up for you calling me a hillbilly. Oh, good God. I'm going to get my dick knocked in the dirt by her. Isabella Live, $2, 2.0, California. $3 straight white Christian men. Yes. And we're tough. We do. You make fun of us all day and beat the shit. We never cry. We never complain. All right, listen, I got to go. I did make it the whole show. My jaw is killing me right now. This whole side of my face is swollen under this glorious beard. But I'm gonna go drink some whiskey and swish it around and sit and cry in my hands because I'm not a big, strong white Christian man. I'm a big fucking baby. Listen, I gotta go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for hanging out. We covered a bunch of stuff today, and we appreciate you wasting an hour of your day with Gen X Talks. And to be fair, if you're gonna waste an hour of your day, what better place to waste it than here with Gen X Talks? It was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, wherever you go, there you are. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.